Hello my friends, this is Akti from Two Girls One Up, and it's been a while since I recorded a video for the channel. I know that Nyx has been taking care of most of the Digimon and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes that we have had recently. Well, it is December 24th. For many of you who celebrate Christmas, this is Christmas Eve. Many of you are going to be having dinner with your families. Many of you might just be staying home for the night and waiting for the next day. Or maybe some of you don't celebrate or celebrate other type of holidays. Everything is allowed. So, what we are allowed to have here tonight is a very nice and relaxing booster pack opening for these special 6R cards and displays for the universes beyond the Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. We were able to purchase each one of these boxes for less than half the price that they initially were pre-ordered for. So during Black Friday, different LGSs in our area had this down marked to $20. So I'm going to show you here. This is the Lord of the Rings, the Gandalf and the Pelennor fields, and you can see here that the price is $20. Here we have the Flight of the Witch King, which I've been looking forward to opening, and finally we have the Might of Galadriel. So maybe something that you are asking yourselves right now is, why are these boxes at this price? Well, we inquired about this particular issue, and the LGS owners essentially mentioned that the foils, these 6R cards that come and that make together this display, this scene, are essentially pringled, which is something that if you buy Magic, you know that this has been an issue for the longest time. So people were not buying this because the foils were bent, which is such a bummer, because having this 6R cards in a very nice display would tremendously look good and boost what Magic has been doing lately. However, unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro just hasn't really learned the lesson, and pringled foils are just still coming out of boxes. So let us see what we get with each one of this. There are also 3 set boosters in each one of these boxes. So, although I am looking forward to opening and making these displays, I'm not looking forward to opening Pringle cards, but once again, let us see if they all come out vent. Stay with us and let us see what we get out of this ones. Let us begin, shall we? On the one hand, These are extremely easy to open. Just go from the bottom and it gives in rather easily. Alright, so here we have the scene that we had in the cover. So this is Aragorn, and this is the display for the cards. Notice how there's already some, I don't know what to call it other than damage in this display, in this off color. The image though, just your standard poster. And now let's look at this. So here we have like a pop-up. A pop-up Aragorn right here. Same with the magic symbol. What else do we have? So here are the packs and the cards. Simple packaging so far. And here we have I changed my gloves, so these are actually new and need to be broken in. The golf gloves unfortunately had their lifetime, so I decided to switch it for something more, interesting. Okay, so here we have set boosters. And I can definitely see these cards already being prinkled inside the package. Here we have our 3 boosters. Now, let us open this. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards, as you can see here, but this is unfortunately the issue right here. Notice this curve right out of the pack. These cards are already bent and prinkled. We're gonna go through the different art cards. So here we have Enduril, Narsil Reforge. Remember, this is that legendary sword that Aragorn used. So this one is a legendary artifact equipment. It has Ascent. If you control 10 or more permanents, you'll get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. If you have the city's blessing, you put 2 counters instead. And you pay 3 to equip. Gorgeous card. Okay. Unfortunately, here we go. Here we have Aragorn, Hornburg Hero. Legendary creature, human soldier. Attacking creatures you control have first strike and renowned 1. So whenever a renowned creature you control deals combat damage to a player, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Very good for those token decks where you just keep increasing the power of your army. This is an instant, Legolas Quick Reflexes. It's got Split Second. As long as this spell is on the stack, players can cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. You get to untap target creature. Until end of turn it gains hexproof reach, and whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature. Here we have Gimli's Reckless Might. It is an enchantment. Creatures you control have haste. Very nice. Here we have a sorcery. Isengard Unleashed. Damage can't be prevented this turn. If a source you control would deal damage this turn to an opponent or a permanent this opponent controls, it deals triple the damage instead. Very nice. For a red deck. Mono red. So here we have some Boros, the Rohirrim Chargers. Creature, human knight. You may exert Rohirrim charges as it attacks. Whenever you exert a creature, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an equipment card. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to that creature, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Also fairly useful. Well, this is definitely a problem, and now I can understand why these boxes were essentially being sold at half the price. Beautiful art, beautiful and useful cards, but just Pringles everywhere. Let us see what we got here. Alright, well, these are the same. These are essentially the art cards, the art series of everything that we just opened for the special 6 art cards. So you essentially have double, and you can reconstruct the same image. Just like so. There we go. Now we have the complete picture, and we can use it for displaying it either on the display that comes in the box that honestly I was not very impressed with. The quality just seemed rather poor. Or you can use it for putting it in another type of display that you can create. Alright, my friends, so far, what do you think of these cards? I know that they are gorgeous, I know they're beautiful. We just saw some of them here, but I just don't like them being so bent. That is unfortunately a downside. Alright, well, let us keep going. Let us open Gandalf. this time around. Let us see the display here. Well, very cool. So the display here seems to be in better shape on the top compared to the previous one. However, here I wonder if it was a damage caused from the packaging. Once again, not very impressed with the display. It's just very cheap, very simple. Okay, well, here we have our set boosters, which we're gonna open at the end. Here we have, once again, the art cards. I'm not going to open this, but I will open the art cards, the playable cards themselves. See what we got here. We got Lauren's Searing Light, an instant Voros. Each opponent exiles a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant and/or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Alluring Searching Light deals damage to each opponent equal to the power of the creature they exiled. Here we got Sorcerer's Squall. A sorcery. Delve. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1 mana. Target opponent mills 9 cards, then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Here we have a legendary artifact, Rama's Echo, Ancient Shield. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card and create a 0/3 white wall creature token with Defender. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control with Defender gain Exalted until end of turn. So, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each instance of Exalted among permanents you control. So, not terrible. An instant, Courageous Resolve. Up to 1 target creature you control gains protection from each of your opponents until end of turn, and then you get to draw a card. If you have 5 or less life, you can't lose life this turn. You can't lose the game this turn, and your opponents can't win the game this turn. So one of those annoying cards at the end. Here we got Gandalf of the Secret Fire. Interesting foiling. You can't really see much of the details for Gandalf, but It's a legendary creature, an avatar wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand during an opponent's turn, exile that card with 3 time counters on it instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. Then if the exile card doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend, which basically at the beginning of your upkeep remove a time counter from that card. When the last is removed, play it without paying its mana cost. An easy way to cast spells without paying their mana cost. This is a sorcery, so here we have the Iset combo. Each opponent chooses a creature they control, tap and go the chosen creature. Is blight on instant or sorcery. Well, as we saw, and as expected of Gandalf, this is an instant and sorcery heavy our card set. We have sorcery, we only have Gandalf as our creature. We have another instant. Oh, we do have a legendary artifact, but then we have a sorcery and another instant. And once again, cards are very Pringled right out of the bag. So, let us see, should we open the Witch King or should we open Galadriel? Let us open Galadriel. Oh, I guess that this is the protection for the store. Alright, now let us see. Very beautiful Galadriel illustration. I really enjoy this one. Here, let us see the back. It is looking better compared to the other two. However, it is damaged, as you can expect from just simple bending of cardboard. Once again, not very impressed with the whole quality. It's just very simple packaging. It doesn't really feel like any, a Universes Beyond, like a special set. Wizards could definitely have done the characters, the quality, the everything, the display, a bit more justice. We know that The Lord of the Rings is not a cheap IP, and they could have come up with a higher quality product instead of just your typical, cardboard, plucking it out of more cardboard. I wonder what this is supposed to be. Is it just like a nice fancy container for the cards and the packs? Or if they were going for something like a secondary use for this as a display of some sort. Once again, it's just cardboard, so it doesn't really feel that special. to open up. Here we have our 3 set booster packs. Here we have the art cards, which I'm not going to open because it is the same art as the cards that we are going to be opening now. Alright, what do we have here? We have Arboreal Alliance. Enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create an XX green treeful creature token. Whenever you attack with one or more elves, you populate. Very nice. So this would be actually good for an elf commander deck. Here we have Galadriel, our elf noble legendary creature. Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You can add 3 mana forest. You can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Or you get to scry 2, then draw a card. Very nice. Here we have a sorcery, Rally the Galadriel. You create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. You can also conspire. As you cast this spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share color with it. When you do, copy it and you may choose a new target for the copy. Here we have an instant Galadriel Dismissal. It has kicker, so you may pay an additional 3 mana as you cast this spell. Target creature faces out. If this spell was kicked, each creature target player controls faces out instead. So in case you have a board wipe and you want to take care of your creatures, then you can save them using that card. Here we have the Mists of Lorien. It's a sorcery. It has replicate for a 1 mana island. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. You may choose new targets for the copies. You can return target non-land permanent and each other non-land permanent with the same mana value as that permanent to their owner's hand. Very nice. So if you want to retrieve some of your lost creatures. Here we have Galadriel Brigade. Creature, elf soldier. They got squad, so an additional 1 mana of any color and 1 forest. When this creature enters the battlefield, create that many tokens that are copies of it. Very nice. And other elves you control get +1/+1. So once again, very nice for an elf commander deck. As we saw with the other boxes, these are unfortunately also bent. I do hope that putting them into our mythic book or the special, the nice cards book, that it actually removes some of that bending. I do not know what is going to happen with them, but I guess $20. Some of those cards are actually useful for some of the commander decks that we are building right now. I know that Nyx is building an elf commander deck and she's doing that one for me, so I'm super grateful for her work and her time and dedication to it. And well, this is the last box that we're going to be opening. It is the last scene, which is the Flight of the Witch King. I know that several of you really enjoy that card from this set, so let us see what it looks like. So here we have this little small display poster of the scene. This is so cool. Now let us see the back. This is a little cleaner compared to the other displays. However, once again, you can see a little bit of like either printing or folding damage. Once again, the display is just very simple looking, rather cheap, just cardboard. So you can totally replace this for something nice with something nicer rather fast. Here we have this once again, and I just want to show you what it looks like in the back. Just very simple packaging, and we can just pop out the image. Fairly simple. I honestly don't know what they expect us to do with this kind of pop-outs, like maybe use them as dividers. I'm not sure. All right, and so these are going to be the last of our 3 set boosters. And here we have once more the art cards and the cards themselves that constitute the display, the scene. Okay, what did we get here? We got Call Forth the Tempest. It's got sorcery, cascade. So, cascade, when you cast this spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an unland card that costs less. You may cast it without playing its mana cost. Put the exile cards on the bottom of your library in a random order, then do it again. You can Call for the Tempest. So Call for the Tempest deals damage to each creature your opponent controls. Your opponent's control equal to the total mana value of other spells you've cast this turn. Interesting. So if you cast something that is like 1 mana cost, then you can get rid of all those annoying token armies. The Nazgul Battle Mace is an artifact and equipment. Equipped creature has Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1. Nice, Annihilator. Remember that is something that we get to see in a lot of the Eldrazi. And whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, put that card onto the battlefield under your control, unless that player pays 3 life. Wow, this is such a nasty card, and I love it. Okay, here we have the legendary creature, the Witch King, Sky Scourge. He is a Wraith Noble. He's got flying. Whenever you attack with 1 or more Wraiths, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is their total power. You may play those cards this turn. It also has Undying. When this creature dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Nasty, nasty card, but this is something that we would expect of Rakdos. Here we have Mordor on the March. Sorcery. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. It gains haste until end of turn. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. It also has Storm. When you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Okay. We got the Fell Beast of Mordor. Creature, Drake Beast. It's got flying and Devour 1. As it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This creature enters the battlefield with that many +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Fell Beast of Mordor enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. That is actually really nice. And finally, here we have Minas Morgul, the Dark Fortress, a legendary land. It enters the battlefield tapped. You can add a swamp, or you can pay 3 mana and a swamp, so a total of 4 mana, and tap it. You can put a shadow counter on target creature. For as long as that creature has a shadow counter on it, it's a wraith in addition to its other types. An interesting mechanic. I have not encountered many wraith creatures in Magic. Remember, we started playing back in probably around 2018, so we haven't really seen everything that Magic has to offer. I liked this box quite a lot better compared to some of the other ones. I think that the Rakdos combo here and the Witch King's Undying are actually quite interesting to play with. So I did like this one in particular. Similar to the other ones, unfortunately, we got Pringle cards. I think it is now obvious that all of them were Pringled right from the box. It is such a shame. The foiling is a little interesting. I think that it's, very standard foiling. Some of the colors that it gives off are a little too much. So sometimes the art gets a little lost in between everything that is shining around it, as you can see here. I like the foiling, but it was probably too much for this set. Maybe a different kind of foiling would have done these cards more justice. Like this one is actually rather nice. They only foil specific parts of the card. But this one, like Gandalf, you kind of miss his face and everything that is white around. This one is not terrible. And I rather like this one, but once again, it kind of gets lost once you put everything together. Alright, well, something that we didn't get to do as we were opening these boxes was to actually open the set booster packs. And we didn't get to open a lot of these. We didn't buy any of the draft booster boxes or the set booster boxes initially. We weren't really so much into the search of the one-of-one ring, and that was the tipping point for many Magic players into the product, reprinting, availability, and everything else. So we just kind of did not open a lot of this. Now, let us see what we got. I am still excited to at least be opening some of these set booster packs. Here we have the Watcher in the Water. Very nice. We have a basic land, forest, Pippin's bravery, many partings, second breakfast, always good, the lembas bread, the generous end, with reach. We got fiery inscription. The ring tempts you when it enters the battlefield. We got ranger's firebrand. We got bitter downfall. We got, oh, I really like this kind of, you know, the borders with the ring and the ring writing in them. Gimli, counter of kills. We also got a mythic. We got Arwen, mortal queen, elf noble. When it enters the battlefield, oh, she enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. You can pay 1, remove an indestructible counter from Arwen. Another target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on that creature, and a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen. Well, that is a lot of stuff going on with Arwen there. And, alright. Well, that was an interesting mythic to encounter. Like, it's actually rather good. Let us see what else we have here. Oh, very nice. So here we have the Witch King of Angmar. Here we have Mordor. Oh, nice. Okay. I think I spoiled myself there. We have Mirkwood Bats. Very good. Ithilien Kingsfisher. Dunline Crevane. Deceive the Messenger. Oh, interesting. So this kind of came backwards? Okay. Well, here we have Faramir. We also have the Dunedain Rangers. We have the Ring Sight. We have Shortcut to Mushrooms. We have Oliphant. Here we have Isildur's Fateful Strike. Very cool. So when he, you know, cuts Sauron's fingers and the ring. Very cool. Here we have Samwise the Stout-Hearted. You know, my friends, if Samwise wasn't there with Frodo, that ring would not have gotten destroyed. We all know that. Alright, well, we got a card from, I think this is the core set 15. This is a mythic, the Soul of New Phyrexia. It has Trample. Pay 5, permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Pay 5, exile Soul of New Phyrexia from your graveyard, permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Very nice. That was a pleasant surprise. Well, I have to admit that these gloves are not that great for opening. These booster packs, but somehow we're getting the job done. Here we got another Witch King of Angmar. Lord of the Nazgul. Alright, well, here we have a normal island, Relentless Rohirrim, Rally at the Hornburg, Quarrel's End, Banish from Adoras, The Bewitching Lichcraft, Build the Pony. Oh, you can create food tokens when it enters the battlefield. That's a cute one. Stew the Connies. Got Shire Sheriff. We got quick beam, upstart, end. Very nice. I like the art. We got here gold, Scroll of Isildur. On the first, so this is a saga. On the first part of it, you gain control of up to one target artifact for as long as you control Scroll of Isildur. The ring tempts you. On the second phase, tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them. And on the third, draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. Very nice. We got a Nimrodal Watcher and a Human Soldier token. Alright, who do we have here? Legolas, counter of kills. Just like Gimli. Alright, what do we have? Ents Fury, Great Hall of the Citadel, Gimli's Axe, Gimli's Fury. Very nice to have 2 Gimli cards right next to each other. Lost to Legend, Grima Wormtongue. Oh, I hated this guy in the movies. Ireth of the Healing House. Here we have Peregrine Took, Halfling Citizen. We got Assault on Osgiliath, a mass orcs expert. Then goblins and orcs you control gain double strike and haste until end of turn. That's actually pretty cool. Nice, we got 2 rares. Rangers of Ithilien. They got Vigilance, and when they enter the battlefield, gain control of up to 1 target creature with lesser power for as long as you control Rangers of Ithilien. Then the ring tempts you. Bombadil's Song. And Path to the World Tree, which I think this is a Kalheim one. Alright, oh, who remembers this super cool dragon? Cavern Horde Dragon. Well, oops. I thought it would be the one that Benedict Cumberbatch voiced, and whose name I'm totally blanking on, but I will add it when editing this video. Ithilien Kingfisher, Dunline Crevane, Deceive the Messenger. Those few cards look very similar to a pack that we had opened before. Denethor, Ruling Steward. Old Man Willow. We got Pippin's Bravery. Very nice illustration here. Here we got The Ring Goes South. Then we got Menelor, Swift Savior. Oh, I love this, like giant eagles. And an orc army. Very nice. Alright, how many set boosters do we have left? A fair amount. 3, 7. Alright, let us see what else we got. Oh, this is when, yeah, Treebeard, but that's Pippin and Meryn. When they make friends with the Ents. Troll of Khazad Dûm. Lorien Revealed. Wizard's Rockets. So nice. Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer. An Elf Noble. The Grey Havens, Legendary Land. Arwen Undomiel, Very cool. Whenever you scry, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So, Celeborn the Wise. Oh, yes. Here we have Rising of the Day. Creatures you control have haste. Legendary creatures you control get a +1/+0. We got another Arwen, Mortal Queen. Okay, I'm not complaining about that. And here we got Rout. You may cast Rout as though it had flash if you pay 2 more to cast it. Destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Nasty, nasty board wipe. And here we have Aragorn. Very cool. Soldier of the Grey Host, Eagles of the North, Escape from Orthanc, Isolation at Orthanc. Here we got Gimli, Counter of Kills. Rising of the Day. We got Shadowfax, Lord of Horses. Oh, such a pretty horse. And remember, that is Gandalf. Horse. Oath of the Grey Host. You and target opponent each create a food token. Each opponent loses 3 life, create a treasure token, and create 3 tap 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Got another Samwise the Stout-Hearted. We did get Aragorn. Very nice. So whenever you cast a white spell, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever you cast a blue spell, you get to scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, Aragorn the United deals 3 damage to target opponent. And whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. That's actually pretty nice. You can get to use, different strategies and try to synergize with the cards that you're playing. Alright, so this one, that's pretty cool art. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. Very cool. Every time I think of Elrond, I just think of Hugo Weaving. I absolutely love Mr. Weaving and everything he did in The Matrix. One of my favorite saga of movies. Got another Pippin's Bravery. Oops. I happened to send this one flying. So here we have Rivendell, legendary land. It enters the battlefield tap unless you control a legendary creature. So you can actually pay more to get to scry. But you need to have a legendary creature. Forge anew. So remember, Elrond reforged that sword. Oh, and this is the ring. The ring tempts you. I have been on the receiving end of those combat damage to a player. Each opponent loses 3 life. That is nasty, and long term it really hurts. Talking about the ring, here we have it. Sol Ring. Alright. Well, let us see what else we get. Errand Rider of Gondor. Bill Fernie. Bree Swindler. Build the Pony. This one goes over here. Build the Pony 2. Stew the Conies. The Shire Sheriff. The Knights of Dol Amroth. So cool. Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit. So we got a mythic now. Partner with Sam, Loyal Attendant. Has got Vigilance. Whenever Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit attacks, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, the ring tempts you. And then, if Frodo is your ring bearer and the ring has tempted you 2 or more times this game, you get to draw a card. Alright, so we also pulled Legolas. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, Legolas deals damage equal to its power to up to one target creature. Very nice. And the foot token right here. Okay, my friends, we have 3 more packs. Let us see what else we have in store. Oh, that scene is just so powerful. Sam carrying Frodo is just, it really makes you think how good of a friend Samwise is and how he essentially saved everyone. Prince Imrahil the Fair. We got Strider, Ranger of the North. We got Lash of the Balrog. Huh, very nice. We also got Eowyn, the Fearless Knight. Very cool. Lorien revealed. And an Orc army. Oh, this looks different from the other Orc armies we have pulled. Let me show you. Orc army, Orc army. These are the 2 different versions we have pulled so far. Very interesting. Okay, second to last pack. Oh, I guess here we have Galadriel. Heroic intervention. Alright, Stalwarts of Osgiliath, Inherited Envelope, Bombadil's Song, Slip on the Ring, and Turn Invisible, Samwise the Stout-Hearted. Very cool. Tale of Tinuviel. Target creature you control gains indestructible for as long as you control Tale of Tinuviel. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and up to 2 target creatures you control each gain lifelink until end of turn. Okay. Knights of Dol Amroth. We pulled a few of this. Oh, we got another Aragorn. But this is the King of Gondor. He's got Vigilance and lifelink. When he enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Whenever Aragorn attacks, up to 1 target creature can't block this turn. If you're the monarch, creatures can't block this turn. Very nice. And here we have Barad-dûr, legendary land. You can use it to amass orcs. Very cool. And here's the ring again. And our last pack, my friends. So far the packs have been quite entertaining. I think that, for getting all the 6 R cards and 3 booster packs in addition to all the mythics that we were able to pull from this, I think that it wasn't terrible. For a $20 price tag. Unfortunately, if you pre-ordered this when they were like the 4 packs for like 130 something or 150, then that was definitely not a good investment. They just went down so much, and it's because people don't like their foil sprinkled. And you would think that WotC Hasbro would have done something by now regarding that. But as we have seen, it just has not been addressed at all. So hoping that in the future this, turn into something better. Here we have a mythic, Shadow of the Enemy. It is a sorcery. It is quite expensive, it's 6 mana, but you get to exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them. Ooh, and we got another mythic, but this is actually a foil one. It is an enchantment, the Storm of Saruman. It's got worth 3. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for the copy. Very nice. Well, and we will also able to pull, I definitely do not know what the symbol is from, but it's Brago's Representative. Creature, human advisor. While boating, you get an additional boat. Very nice. Well, my friends, what did you think of the whole box openings? I think, personally, and as I already mentioned, the displays, the overall packaging, everything could have been done a little bit more tastefully rather than cheaply. We know that this is the second printing of Universes Beyond Lord of the Rings edition. So some of these cards, I mean, were quite up there in price when the set first came out. I remember like Balin's Tomb and all of that. We didn't get to, pull any of those nice cards here. I don't actually know if we could actually have pulled them from set booster packs. I know that they are from the collector packs. But I have to say that some of these cards just look quite interesting. They definitely open new avenues for making decks, improving current commander decks that we're building. So it wasn't all lost, even though I wasn't a fan of the packaging, even though, things could have been done a little bit better regarding the QC, and particularly regarding this super Pringling. It is unfortunate that such cool cards where come out just bent right out of the box. People don't like this, and I just hope that someone at WotC gets the illumination in their brains and just think about people don't like the Sprinkle products, and unfortunately it is making LGSs get stuck with all of this inventory that then they have to slash 50% off during holidays and during sales to get these items moving. It is sad to see LGSs just losing money on this kind of products, and it is sad to see that even though this is marked as a more premium product, that they did not deliver on terms of overall quality. That is all I got to say. As always, I'm eager to read your opinions on these cards, on the set in general, and what you thought of the set. If it is something that truly adds to Magic, or if it's just one of the many sets that just keeps coming out and we seem to not see any end so far. We have many future announcements that we're going to be making in our channel. Before I spoil you with some of this, we're going to keep it a secret until we actually have our live stream, until we can actually show you some of the prizes that we are reserving for you guys for celebrating our 500 subscriber milestone, and also for celebrating the new year. It's almost going to be 1 year since we opened 2 Girls 1 Up, so we have a celebration for that, a little giveaway. And as always, we want to thank each and every one of you for making our channel grow, for making this community grow, and for sharing your passion and love for the different TCGs that are out there. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time listening, remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for all those amazing things that we're going to be giving away. Happy holidays, happy Christmas Eve, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, although Hanukkah is already done. If you don't celebrate, then just enjoy the time off, or if you're working, then I am right there with you. I am also working, and we are always back to the grind. So enjoy your time, enjoy life. Life is beautiful, and we'll see you here on the next one. Take care, my friends.